Hello everybody, my name is Singh and this is the Gadri Bapayan da Mela. A couple of years ago I recited a poem in Punjabi when Mr. Trudeau was here, and now he became Prime Minister. I wrote a poem about him in an English poem this time. I wrote a poem about you, it's going to be on this channel.
Thank you, thank you.
Bekamagatammaru. A ship that had embarked for its journey on shore, which had set sail in the year 1914, that is 1914. Set sail, yes, but the passengers on it, who were Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs, did not know what was in store for them. They had set off for overseas, to land in the Canadian province of BC. They were passengers who had boarded with such great anticipation, with their minds at ease, being at peace. But unfortunately, their offer was overturned and were seized at the border, in order to return back overseas. But going back was not their plan A nor B. At this point, they were disappointed. They came and became sad and angry. You see, their plan was to settle in Canada so that they could learn, grow, and achieve. But the crew on this cruise was not received. Instead, they were halted by authorities, which had resulted in the passengers being assaulted because the Canadian government had imposed an immigration restriction on them, which denied them permission from entry based on racial grounds. They didn't want them to come around because they found them different and strange. But the crew only wanted to find a new way, as they were on the lookout for a greater change. They just wanted to integrate in Canadian society. But the government refused to see their outlook, their dreams, their vision. All that time and energy in addition put in that made an expensive expedition, so that each could reach the indefinite levels of success on repetition. For entry to tune in and land in opportunity, they were definitely adamant in wanting to be added to Canada's community and its definition. They just could not understand. They then took a stand tall, because at this rate they were not going to tolerate this at all. They weren't going to cope with this downward slippery slope. They weren't going to give in to the orders. Nope. The passengers knew of their own goal, why they arrived, what they were there for, and therefore they were not giving up hope. So a new behavior in them had woken up. They were going to send them back. Oh, the passengers had not just spoken up, they fought back. Retaliation was shown. The folks were provoked, and by them bricks were thrown. The officials counterattacked with gunfire smoke. Casualties occurred. Such intense heat. The army showed them that they would continue to treat them just like this if they did not choose to retreat and be back overseas. Thus, the passengers on the ship had either been imprisoned, injured, or deceased. A tragedy had taken place, and it was all due to prejudice, the discrimination against race. Now, in remembrance of what had occurred, we hold an annual fair, not just to remember the racial affairs, but also to promote awareness of equality and fairness. That historical event had further opened the door, enforcing a major change in the immigration policy, much stronger than ever before. It's one thing to be cash poor, but it's another to be restricted from reaching one's true potential. That is the real poverty. And as we know that we've been adjusting to Honorable Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's qualities, who is all about righteousness, fairness, and the justice philosophy psychology. That year's election was, wow, Canada's very memorable win. What a new way to begin. On the property of the House of Commons, He spoke on behalf of all the East Indian and South Asian Canadian communities with a sincere apology for that heinous crime that took place, that sin. Prabhat also remembers Mr. Justin Trudeau
being at this very annual fair a couple of years ago.
The Prime Minister's always on the go. The support and compassion that he's showing and has shown, treating no immigrant like an alien, but rather human, even before treating them like a Canadian, makes one feel like he's a family member of their own, who plays an integral part in Canada's achievement of its major milestones. Yes, Canada has come a long, long way as it gradually changed its ways over time. We moved up to climb the multicultural ladder, the staircase of diversity. After fighting over racial matters by court case, today in places such as in office, the Army and the RCMP, we'll see Sikhs being allowed to wear a turban along with a long gaze. In case you don't know, it's one of the 5 Ks. Moreover, the hijab, the burqa, and the niqab can also be worn over the head and face. Now it looks like we are starting to accept and realize that people need their space. Now, if we just continue like this, plus pick up the pace all the way throughout, we shall see discrimination directed at culture, religion, and race being permanently removed, getting thrown out. So, over the years, there have been these memorial celebrations shown about these immigrational bouts. Now it's nice to see that even Canada Post launched a Kamagata Maru commemoration postage stamp that sheds light on its history as bright as a lamp. And it looks like a poster of these early historical champs. It's like, hey, it just could be our great-great-great-gramps. It is because of them that their descendants could be given a chance to join hands and advance. It's how the rest of us could be here. So here's a toast to the entire BC West Coast. Cheers! We weren't there, no. But this is where awareness can become a means to time travel in a way and be near the early pioneers, where we can pick up all those emotional aspects from the incident in the form of a souvenir. So we can be clear about the whole situation, which was indeed so severe. Where we can realize how they felt, what they dealt with, what they had to undergo, the circumstances they had to go under in fear, the many challenges they had to face when enrolling in school and eventually starting their desired career. Today there has been such amusing contribution from East Indians and South Asians, a Canadian fusion. From agriculture to fine dine cuisines, home renovations, repair and construction, to the jewelry stores and the many banquet halls that are always holding various types of functions. A variety of lines of work, duties and tasks, such as politics and media broadcasts, taxi services, dealerships and truckers, auto shops and driving instructors. By working their brains and bones, they have eventually made Canada their home. You see, the early settlers have set examples and left a legacy for their children who can now establish their own future and for the upcoming generations until they have grown. So it has took a lot, you see, up to a great degree, for them to be what they always wanted to be. Yes, freedom is just one of the best things in life, but it never comes free. Mr. Justin Trudeau, you will remain just in our hearts. Thank you for all the great things that you have done, and for all the great that you will continue to do. On behalf of Canada, Prabhat Singh dedicates this poem to you.
Pleasure to be back in BC to support a dear friend who's at British Columbia Liberal MPs. There is only strong engagement, respectful partnership, and hard work day in and day out. What the right path is, how to build stronger communities, how to build a stronger future. And that's exactly what we're going to do, and we are going to do it together. And can't wait to to do a lot more work for all of you in the coming years.